Here, and I wanted to talk about something that's kind of been forgotten in Total War Warhammer, which are our mini campaigns that we got from Total War Warhammer 1. There were two mini campaigns released during the first game's life cycle. The first one, An Eye for an Eye, which was focused around the Beastmen, and the second, The Season of Revelations, which involved the Wood Elves. There has kind of been a reintroduction in Warhammer 3, that being the Something Rotten in Kislev co-op campaign, and then the Lost God prologue tutorial campaign. And to be honest, I think there are a lot more of these campaigns which we could potentially see in the future. And having these more focused, story-driven campaigns could be a nice change of pace instead of the traditional sandbox, which I know will never go away, but sometimes it can get a bit stale and you just want a little bit of narrative to push your experience forward. And I'm not even saying that these have to be created by CA. These could easily be created by the modding community. We've seen something like this in the Old World mod, where you can create your own maps, put your own factions wherever you like, and just let them brawl it out. I've already got a few mini campaigns in my head, which most of them were inspired by the Old World mod, where the mod has so many improved locations, and you could expand that even further to become a mini campaign within itself. So I'm going to share some of these ideas with you guys and just show you what kind of factions would be involved, what the storyline could be around, and how the campaign itself will just unfold. So let's get straight into my first idea for a mini campaign, which shall be Albion. So the Old World mod has already massively improved Albion compared to Immortal Empires. It's got that really nice battle royale feel, it's about 10 times the size, but I think for a mini campaign it should be taken even further. So we need to triple and quadruple that. So the size of the map and the amount of characters on it. So let's say, yes, the map will be about triple or quadruple the size of Albion is here, and let's throw as many factions in there as possible. I think all of the Chaos Gods should be represented, so let's get Nurgle in there, Khorne, Tzeentch and Slaanesh. Let's get the High Elves in there. Let's get the Dwarfs in there. Let's get as many factions in there as possible. Throw Kislev in there also, why not? And I think that as for a mini campaign, you need to have some sort of objective that you guys are fighting over. So let's put some sort of Sword of Cain or some sort of ritual site within the center of Albion that everyone is fighting over. So let's say that you have this forest here. This forest is a ritual site. You only have one and everyone is fighting for it. So you go in there and then you have to either build up a building to a certain tier, giving you some sort of ultimate power like a Sword of Cain or a Nemesis Crown or something along those lines. Or you could have it like the Wood Elves mechanic, where you have to hold it for a certain amount of turns, be bombarded by so many different waves, and once you've got that, you've got a really, really powerful buff where you can go and either finish the campaign because you have won, or you can go around and take out everyone else in the campaign. So this should be a multiplayer campaign, a single campaign, however you feel. And I believe that everyone on turn 1 should all be going to war with each other at the same time. I think it makes it much more epic. It means that you can't have any allies, so you're not going to get Marcus Wolfheart and the Cathey over here. You're not going to get them ally up. They are going to be pure and brutal enemies like everyone else in the region. I think it'll be a really nice campaign, really nice change of pace, and if you really, really want that battle royale feel, I think this campaign would be for you. Anyway, let's moving on to the next mini campaign. Now, I don't think we can talk about mini campaigns without mentioning Carrick 8 Peaks. I think it's such an obvious choice for one. You've got 3 amazing characters with great rivalry and a great story arc behind it, and I think it could be easily represented within a mini campaign. In the Old World mod, again, it was massively improved compared to Immortal Empires, with there being multiple settlements now to create Carrick 8 Peaks instead of one singular region, but I think it should be expanded even more. I don't think it should be quite as big as the Albion mini campaign, but I think it should be a decent size, maybe 10 to 15 provinces in total, with them all having around 3 settlements each. Now, I do think that they should all start with one settlement, and they should be going, their first initial enemy will be, let's say Skarsnik goes up against a Dwarf character, Belagar goes up against a Greenskin character, and Queek goes up against a Dwarf character, and they all just fight their initial enemies, take as many territories as possible before they clash in the middle. I do think there should be a mechanic where the middle territories are much more valuable. Maybe that could be a unique building that you can build, and the closer you get to the middle, the more gold that gives you, and maybe the more global bonuses that gives you, maybe to upkeep or to melee attack, melee defense, whatever it may be. The closer to the middle, the more powerful the buffs, and on the outskirts you get little to no rewards. This would mean that everyone is incentivized to go into the middle of the map and get those really powerful rewards, but at the same time, if you do go into the center, you will likely be surrounded by both the other warlords trying to take the territories for themselves, and it'll be very difficult to hold on to. I do think that everyone should start with their penalties, so I think Skarsnik shouldn't be able to recruit orcs at the beginning, Belegar should have the increased upkeep, and then Queek will have the public order problems, but once you take more and more territory, those problems disappear and in fact turn into buffs. I think it would be a great idea for a mini campaign, and it would be very good if I could see the modding community or even Creative Assembly to create something to this extent and this level. I think it would be really interesting to see. Now, I just want to clarify, I don't think CA should be losing dev times on the DLCs. I still think they should put all of their effort into the DLC content, such as Shadows of Change and Thrones of Decay. But I do think the modding community should dive into this a little bit more and see if they can experiment with these kind of mini campaigns. Because we all know at some point that CA is going to stop the development of DLCs and eventually move on to a new project, whether that be Total War 40k or something completely different. And I think to keep this game alive, it will be the modding community, and the modding community will need to start creating their own campaigns at some point. They're very good at creating races. They are now diving into map development. So let's try to make these mini campaigns, because I really think that's the thing that's going to keep this game interesting for so much longer. We will be relying on the mod community at some point. And I think there's so many more different mini campaigns that they could create. I can also imagine one in the Realms of Chaos, for example, where you've actually got the 4 Chaos gods fighting over their realms. I think these mini campaigns would really help the multiplayer campaign community as well. Like we already have something Rotten in Kislev and Darkness and Disharmony based in Cathey. Although CA, these really should be available in single player also. I would love to play something Rotten in Kislev on my own. And I think just on top of that, it would be really nice if we can get the mini campaigns from Warhammer 1 updated and placed into Warhammer 3. And that's going to be it for my video today, guys. I really do think that mini campaigns will be the future of Total War at some point, even if it's 3, 5, 8 years down the track. I think it will come down to mini campaigns and modded in factions, which will really keep this game alive. Anyway, guys, what do you think of mini campaigns? What kind of campaigns would you like to see? Are you not interested in mini campaigns at all? Please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about it. Also, if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.